Hello all, my name is Rahman and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to a new series called Microsoft Azure Data Factory series. So in this series guys, we are going to learn about what is Azure Data Factory, or we could also call it as ADF, and then we are going to talk about why it is important, why it is used, all of those stuff. And in this series guys, we are going to create Azure ADF pipelines, all of those stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, let's talk about what is ADF. Now, Azure Data Factory or ADF is like a digital factory for your data. Now, imagine that you have a bunch of data spread across your places like files on your computer or folders, information in the databases, or even data from the internet. For example, you have some data on YouTube where you have some history, or you have searched a lot of things on the Google and you have the history, or you have the search history, all of those stuff. Now this type of data you have. Okay, now Azure Data Factory helps you bring all of this data together, just like a real factory brings the raw materials together, right? Now in this digital factory you can create a plan or set of instructions on how to move, transform and process your data. Now it's like telling the machines in a factory how to assemble products. Azure Data Factory does this with the data pipelines where you can specify what data to gather and how to clean it up and where to send it. Now I want to give you an example. For example, let's say you are running a factory where you bring up all of the raw materials and produce into one material, right? Now for producing that into one material, you collect all of the raw materials and you build something else, and from that you are going to take out the wastage, and then you are going to create a product, right? So that's like Azure Data Factory is also. So it helps you bringing all of the data together, and then it's going to take out the wastage that you have in that data. Now, once your data factory is set up and running, then it automates these data processes, making it easier to manage and ensuring your data is where you need it, right? Now, in the right format. So, in the simple words, let's say that Azure Data Factory is like a digital manager of your data, helping you collect the data, then organizing it, and then preparing it for your business needs. For example, again, you are creating one product. Okay, so you have a factory where now there is a person who brings all of the trash or the raw materials, and then he helps that to produce into one product. And now whatever the wastage is there, that man is going to throw there. Now ADF is also going to work like that man. Now let's talk about why we need ADF or Azure Data Factory. Now, ADF is like the data organizer or the mover for your business, right? It helps you collect the data from the different sources, like as I said, right? Now, transform it if we need it, like converting the formats or cleaning it up, and then deliver it to where you want it to deliver. For example, you have produced the product and you have to deliver that product somewhere else. Okay, now a man is helping you to deliver that product somewhere else, right? At a place. So that's how Azure Data Factory is going to work. So that's why we need Azure Data Factory. Now in other words, we can also say that Azure Data Factory is Azure's cloud ETL service for the scale out serverless data integration or the data transformation. Now, guys, you might be thinking what actually is ETL. Now, ETL full form is extraction, E for extraction, T for transformation, and the L for load. Now, as I said that if you want to produce one product, then one person is helping you for collecting the raw materials, and after that, he's going to throw the wastage that came out that has been produced with the product, right? So extraction, the transformation and the load. So that's what the Azure Data Factory is going to do right now. Now let's go ahead and create the data factory using the Azure Portal. So let's go on the Azure Portal, or just you have to type something called as the portal.azure.com. Okay, and then it's going to open something like this page. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to just click on the data factories. So yeah, you can also type here the data factory. Sorry, factories. Now it's going to open something like this. Now as you can see here, I have no data factory created right now. So click on the data factory. It's going to create there. So as you can see here, I'm going to choose the pay as you go. So I'm not going to explain the basics of this because I have explained all of these in the Microsoft Azure Fundamental series. So let's type it the pay as you go, and I'm going to create a new one, and that is going to be the demo factory. Okay. Okay. Now let's give here something called as I'm going to give uh, 9 data demo demo data. Okay, now I'm going to choose here the version 2, and I'm going to choose here the South India. So for which I'm going to select the where it is. Okay, here, let's click on the South India. Now I'm going to click on the review and then create. Let's click on this one. So right now we are not getting any errors. So before creating this, if you go to the git configuration, then you are going to get something called as the configure with the git later on. So you have to select that option because you are going to get some other boxes there. So if we select that options, those all of those boxes are not going to come here. So let's go to the git. As you can see, configure the git later. If I click, I'm getting the Azure DevOps or the GitHub. So we'll be configuring this later on. So anyhow, click on the review and create. And now I'm going to click just on the create. Okay, so it's going to take some time for creating. Click on the create. Now as you can see, our data factory is being created. It's been creating, it's running right now. Then we are going to get here the notification that yeah, it has been created successfully deployment. Right now let's dismiss all of this, and then let's go to the resource, and then I'm going to launch it the studio. Now as you have seen that when creating a virtual machine, what we need is we have to create a virtual machine, and it's not going to open something called as the launch studio, something like that, right? That's going to happen. But with the Azure Data Factory, these kind of things are going to happen. One more thing that you have to do is you have to click on the orchestrate, and then you can ingest. We can also transform the data. We can configure the SSIS. So anyhow guys, we'll be talking about all of these things later on. So thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see all in another tutorial. Thanks for watching and goodbye.